Epic.
Alrighty.
It's Modelo time.
It's Modelo time, fool.
Modelo time?
Time's it, dog.
Motherfucking Modelo time.
Modelo time, fool.
It's always Modelo time.
Modelo time, homie.
It's Modelo time.
Fucking Modelo time, fool. Modelo time, fool.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I have to say, I connect to it in a spiritual level, my guy.
I don't think I've ever drank a Modelo in my life.
Yo,
I'm not much of a beer drinker.
I mean,
I've never drank beer.
I'm more of a rum kind of guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only drink I like occasionally drink is Jack Daniels.
Yeah, I'm more of a milk guy.
You've never drank alcohol in your life?
No, I've tasted alcohol. Sure, I've had wine, and champagne, but I've never had beer or anything like that. I've never had the peasant drinks. The peasant.
You don't have to. You don't have to be a classy liberal all the time. You know that?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta, just instantly grow your chest hair a little bit and just freaking chimp out, and it's Modelo time.
All right, so yeah, welcome guys to the stream. Today we are joined a MasterShadowNinja who was on an episode of the Classy Liberal podcast. I watched a little bit of that for you guys. That was pretty interesting. And I only noticed recently that MasterShadowNinja is also a fellow Brazilian.
Yeah, dude, I'm a fellow vine swinger, my guy. We literally shoot electricity out of our fingertips like Blanca.
Yo, as you have noticed, or you have or haven't noticed, my whole channel is kind of Street Fighter inspired. And I was, as a kid when I was growing up, because that was the first video game I ever not played, but was like my own that I owned, and I loved that game. It always did kind of piss me off how Blanca was the fucking dude from Brazil. It's like we couldn't get a cooler guy. Like, yeah, it was kind of pissed me off.
Have you seen this new character from Street Fighter V, Laura Matsuda, this Japanese Brazilian chick, looking like Christine Mack.
Oh no.
She looks like a porn star, dude.
Well, that's how. Yeah, I mean, it's very beautiful women in Brazil, so.
It's the techno mulattoism, my guy.
You won't stop going off about that, man.
Yo, man, if Sargon of Akkad can make liberalist and make it to UKIP, then I could sure as hell make techno mulattoism into fruition.
Make it a wing of the Libertarian Party.
It's technocratic. I don't know if that's libertarian yet.
Well,
we'll see. We'll see in the next episode, my guy.
Something that we were talking about off stream though is kind of like the whole political landscape, especially in Brazil. For people who don't know, their general election is October, like next week, right? Like October 5th or October 4th.
So. Yeah, early October, I believe. Either 4th or 5th. I have to check on that. Real soon.
Yeah, if it's a Thursday, it's a 4th. If it's a Friday, it's a 5th. But something that we were talking about off stream is that I feel like Brazilian politics kind of mirrors the United States. Not just politics, like everything, like economy, so many things does seem to mirror the United States. What's happening now in their election is kind of what was happening in our election in terms of, you know, there's the right wing. I mean, would you say Bolsonaro is a right wing candidate or?
Okay, in a Brazilian lens, he's considered right leaning, like actually center right in a Brazilian standard. But
Mm-hmm.
as for if an American looks into it with an American lens, they would automatically think, okay, this guy is extremely far to the right, and you know, people. I think it's a good way. Maybe it could be a little bit of a lesson that in different environments, there's different types of liberals or conservatives or anything like that, depending on where you're at. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if I go down, let's say like if I go down over there, I would be considered a progressive because of some of the certain things that I disagree with. But
Right.
if I come up over here in the States, I would probably be down in the right around the center or something like that.
Sure.
Using it as an example, you know what I mean? So
Right. Of course.
yeah. So the situation is a little different. Actually, pretty different. So
It's pretty different, but he did come out and say that he wants to like, I think he was quoted as saying like he wants to like follow Donald Trump, and that kind of like freaked a lot of people out in terms of at least policy. I do have a friend who is a Brazilian, who's he lives in Brazil and he's over here just visiting, and we were talking about like politics, and he's kind of involved. He likes to talk about politics in Brazil and stuff. Most people don't, or I mean that's I guess my opinion, but we were talking about it, and he was saying that the only thing, like regardless of like left or right, like a lot of people don't even care about that. The thing that he cared about was that like one of his policies, which is a right-leaning policy, is that he wants to open up the laws for gun rights to the citizens.
yeah.
And a lot of citizens are freaked out about that because there is a lot of and that's the thing. It's kind of like the debate where it's like, does if the government and the law like prohibits guns, does that equal less violence? Because usually at least in Brazil's case, having the restrictions on guns, all that means is that the citizens can't have the guns, but the thieves and the bandits have the guns because they don't care about the law. And at least in the United States, there are more like gun deaths per se because of accidental shootings and things like that. But at least people, I mean, it's safer, even though everyone can have a gun. And he was just saying that he kind of worries about that because even if in theory Bolsonaro wants to mirror the United States laws in terms of legalizing the guns, in the beginning there's going to be maybe a lot of tension, and there's going to be a lot of bloodshed, or I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. That's at least what he was saying. He lives in Sao Paulo, so
Okay, well, yeah, São Paulo. What's really interesting about São Paulo is it's actually fairly progressive, down south, and when it comes to gun violence in Brazil, the the police officers are also fairly corrupt. They actually do take a lot longer to show up during the crime scene
Oh
than
yeah.
comparing to Americans. Like the national average for Americans, for the police officers to show up, I believe it's about 8 to 10 minutes. Now, for Brazil's case, I think last time I remembered, it takes about an hour
Oh,
or
Yeah.
somewhere between 30 minutes or to an hour or two. And, you know, for let's say like an outlier or like a bandit coming in and mess a lot of things up, they have all the time in the world to do these damages. And when it comes to gun laws over there in Brazil, um, you're you don't really have rights to carry arms if you're a law-abiding citizen down there.
Right.
Um, you can actually, you can have arms in your house, but you can't take it out to the public. That's illegal. You
Right.
can't do open carry. You can't do concealed carry. You can't walk around with a weapon. So what happened was, with little bit in detail. So what people are doing now, since they banned guns, and even the people in the black market, and in also in the ghettos of Brazil, they're actually becoming a little bit more innovative when it comes to creating their weapons, making water pipe shotguns and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of strange if you look at that way. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, it's not just that you can only have it in your house, but it's a lot harder to get access to a gun in Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Something, as someone who knows, Brazilians, in the culture, I'm pretty much Americanized. I moved from Brazil when I was 3 years old. So I've lived in America for pretty much my whole life, and I go back to visit, and I'm still involved with the culture, with speaking Portuguese, and going to Brazilian events with Brazilian people, just still involved in the culture and everything.
Mhm.
And so you're involved with people who come over, and they're kind of surprised that I go back to visit, for example, and I'm still involved with the culture, scattered around, speaking Portuguese. It's very common to see going to, especially where I live in Florida, events with Brazilian people, just still involved in the culture. It's very common to see tons of gun stores lying around, and the Brazilian people are kind of shocked, and they're like, "Oh, like that's crazy." And even though there's a lot less crime, and there is a more, I mean, that's the thing too, is that people want to complain about the police here in America. At least we have a police. Like, think about like calling and like waiting for an hour for the police to come. Like, a lot of people, I guess, they're privileged and they don't really know what that feeling is living in America.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you mean in regards to that, and not to say like even American police officers are not perfect, but if you compare it to other countries, like it's a lot better than than it is, comparatively speaking, which is why I think to a certain degree the people who immigrate over to the U.S. and all that, and I'm saying even legally speaking, they just they just want to do something. They want to do something to better their lives at the end of the day,
Right.
And as for like Brazil and things of that matter, I honestly think that if they don't resolve their situation, from what I remembered, I believe it was Mike Pence, or I think it was either like some American politician, or either Mike Pence or some other politician, said that there might be an American intervention if Brazil is still going down to that downward path,
Right.
obviously. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very critical time in the country now, and we'll see what happens with, and something that I wanted to bring up as well is that I do get reminded things that happen in Brazil usually happen like years, are the things that have happened years before in the United States for this election. I mean, not all the same, like obviously some things are different, but with social media now and technology, the political atmosphere, it kind of is, what's happening in Brazil is reminding me what happened here in 2016. For people who don't remember, in 2016 is very high tension, and like people, Classy, I think there's a lot of feedback or somewhere on someone's side, but what I was gonna say is that people are posting like things on social media now about politics, and people arguing on Facebook and shit, and unfriending like families, like splitting up and like not talking to each other based on politics. Kind of the same thing that happened on in the 2016 election is happening with the Brazilian election now, and it's pretty interesting. It just things that just don't go together in terms of having with social media and with social media and politics, because people are just bound to argue, and I don't know. I think it's stupid stupid to mix the two. We have I don't know in the chat. He says, "Are you worried about Brazil becoming Venezuela?" I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, the reason Venezuela is going down the path they went down is because of socialism.
Oh, don't say that. Hopefully Sandre isn't watching the stream. Sorry.
Is Sandre a social?
No, he's not. He's a capitalist, but he actually did a really good video explaining that Venezuela isn't really socialist because 70% of the market is privatized, actually. So they're actually like technically more capitalistic than France. But let's just say it is leftism. I would say it's leftism or authoritarian leftism. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
It's more so a shit tier social democracy, in my opinion.
I mean, it's not even a democracy. It's like, what, a military democracy, I guess?
I just know that every Venezuelan I meet like just hates the government and from there and says it's no good. Terrible. But yeah. I put the topic of the stream here. Oh yeah, something else I want to talk about before we move on. MasterShadowNinja. About Brazil is that something I was talking about with someone who recently moved here. I think I've talked about him on this stream before. He's a family friend of ours who moved here with his family. One of the reasons he moved is because he was sick of the road rage, because he actually makes his living as an Uber driver, and he was got carjacked when he at the end of his workday one time, and basically like he had dudes come in with guns and ordered him to get out of his car, and his daughter and his wife were watching the whole time. And yeah, you never know I feel like the thieves and the bandits in Brazil, like sometimes if they're crazy, like they'll just shoot you.
Oh yeah, on the dot. Yeah. On the dot, and you have nothing. You don't have anything because it's illegal if you're a law-abiding citizen over there.
Right. Yeah. And something he mentioned is like the difference, which the United States still has obviously road rage, but it's a much more prevalent problem in Brazil. It's like people are ready to like go off, and I've seen my own
than South Florida.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I know where you live in South Florida, it is pretty bad because it's a lot of people and it's very like dense.
No, here's the thing. There's this like famous like writer, I think for the Miami Herald or some other columnist. I think his name is Dave Barry or something. He says here in Miami, everyone follows the law. They follow the law of their own country, right? So when it comes to driving, everyone just thinks it's like, oh, it's the same as it is in insert Latino American country, right? So yeah, it's a disaster.
So you're saying like Cubans, like people where they're from, follow the laws of the country where they're from? Is that what you're saying?
It's a joke. Yeah, I meant maybe there's some truth to it, but like I'm just saying that like people like have no respect for like pedestrians or for other drivers. Like if you want to switch lanes, you kind of have to hope and pray that you get like a free, like how do you say, a spot, because they're not gonna let you pass. They're not.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, South Florida is very intense and has a lot of
Yeah, you're
people
lucky.
from different
you live
places
in
there.
that white people town.
Oh, I used to live in Florida.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. No, for a little while I used to live in. Basically, it's very mixed. It was. I used to live in Pompano Beach, and the Jamaican beef patties were fucking great. I'm just saying. So, yeah. So, anyways, what's with this whole Kavanaugh, whatever? I'm not updated with this part.
Oh, man,
So
I wish
what
I
happened?
was
we just
going around
need him. You wish who was here?
Oh, never mind. Just continue.
No, I have no idea about it either. Because I mean, I just know that it's like dominating the freaking like social media and Twitter and news and all that stuff. And I had a little video here for us to react to, and it was like we needed to name the stream something, so we named it that. But the final point I just wanted to before we moved on was about why do you think road rage is so much more prevalent in Brazil? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think it's the culture, in my honest opinion. We do. I would argue that a lot of Brazilians does hold a lot of pride and machismo culture.
I am here.
And basically, you know, machismo culture as in like you're very hyper masculine and you got to do this to protect your manhood or whatever. So
right.
What about
and
the women drivers?
Women
drivers, yeah, they're mostly at home or teaching. So
well, yeah, I mean, and the women who do drive, they have to kind of adopt that same hyper masculine attitude, especially if you're driving. But I think too, I mean, that does probably contribute also to the homophobia, where yeah, I mean, if you're like suspected of being gay, it's, you know, very common for you to, you know, might be beat up or assaulted or chastised or stuff. And I think that does contribute to a lot. But yeah, with the road rage in Brazil, like, yeah, it is kind of like just almost insane where it's almost a different world. And I don't know. I mean, it was the whole reason for this family friend of ours to move, because what happened was his car was stolen and he knew the guy that stole it. So he snuck into the house of the guy who stole his car, stole it back from him. And when the guy found out, he like put this message out to like everyone that, oh, he had like a hit on him and was going to come after him, and was scared of that. And I've seen family members do shit too like that, where like they'll have some incident on the road, like get cut off, and like my uncle like literally followed some guy to his house to like talk to him and like to, you know, cuss him out and shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's always interesting to get, I guess, another Brazilian's perspective, because a lot of Americans going there, they don't realize it, how different it is. Yeah, so let's see here. So yeah, with this whole Kavanaugh thing, I honestly don't really know too much about it. I just know that this is dominating kind of there's like these women coming out and accusing him of
yeah, Dreamer, sorry to interrupt you, man, but do you wanna like leave Discord for a bit and then come back, cause like you cut out a little bit sometimes. Just like reconnect.
Leave Discord and come back?
Yeah, just like disconnect and then reconnect again.
Was I cutting out a lot?
A little bit, yeah.
Alright, let me try it.
Yeah, that usually solves it. There we go.
Alright, hello. So yeah, yeah, just interrupt me if things start getting weird. But yeah, so with the whole Kavanaugh thing, I just wanted to play this little video and kind of get your guys' reaction and see what it is, just because I did hear that this apparently it is just kind of interesting when it comes to like sexual assault and accusing people of things, because this happened 35 years ago, and now this lady is coming out and making these accusations right before he's supposed to be nominated or for the Supreme Court as a Supreme Court judge. So it's kind of like what a coincidence. And I don't know, politics is an unfair game, like with things like that. So, by the way, did I cut out at all, or you heard me good?
That was okay. That was fine.
All right, sweet. So yeah, we'll take a look at this video and get you guys' reactions.
I believe it is my civic duty.
This confirmation process has become a national disgrace.
Early in the evening, I went up a very narrow set of stairs leading from the living room to a second floor to use the restroom. When I got to the top of the stairs, I was pushed from behind into a bedroom across from the bathroom. I couldn't see who pushed me. Brett and Mark came into the bedroom and locked the door behind them. There was music playing in the bedroom. It was turned up louder by either Brett or Mark once we were in the room. I was pushed onto the bed, and Brett got on top of me. He began running his hands over my body and grinding into me. I believed he was going to rape me. I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what terrified me the most and has had the most lasting impact on my life. It was hard for me to breathe, and I thought that Brett was accidentally going to kill me.
Dr. Ford, with what degree of certainty do you believe Brett Kavanaugh assaulted you?
100%.
What is the strongest memory you have?
Indelible in the hippocampus is the laughter, the uproarious laughter between the two, and they're having fun at my expense.
You've never forgotten that laughter. You've never forgotten them laughing at you.
I was, underneath one of them while the two laughed. Two friends having a really good time with one another.
Are you aware that the three people at the party besides yourself and Brett Kavanaugh have given statements under penalty of felony to the committee?
Yes.
And are you aware of what those statements say?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Coke sponsorship, baby.
Are you aware that they say that they have no memory or knowledge of such a party?
I don't expect that PJ and Leland would remember this evening. It was a very unremarkable party. It was not one of their more notorious parties because nothing remarkable happened to them that evening. They were downstairs. And Mr. Judge is a different story. I would expect that he would remember that this happened.
I categorically and unequivocally deny the allegation against me by Dr. Ford. This whole 2-week effort has been a calculated and orchestrated political hit, fueled with apparent pent-up anger about President Trump and the 2016 election, fear that has been unfairly stoked about my judicial record, revenge on behalf of the Clintons, and millions of dollars in money from outside left-wing opposition groups. The other night, Ashley and my daughter, Liza, said their prayers. And little Liza, all of 10 years old, said...
I will say, both of them do kind of seem disingenuous, and I don't know, they're kind of trying to play it up, and you can always tell when people are trying to, force their tears. The lady was trying to do it, he's trying to do it. That's what I'm kind of just taking away from
I disagree.
this whole
I think
thing.
they're
so
both
far.
genuine, and they're both honest.
Ah, you're such a classy guy.
I don't know at this point. I am still wanting. I just want to see the whole thing.
All right.
To Ashley, we should pray for the woman.
Was there ever a time when you drank so much that you couldn't remember what happened or part of what happened the night before?
No, I remember what happened, and I think you've probably had beers, Senator, and...
Could you answer the question, Judge? That's not happened. Is that your answer?
Yeah, and I'm curious if you have.
I have no drinking problem, Judge.
Yeah, nor do I.
Okay, thank you.
That's kind of odd. That was a bit suspect, dude. He was.
Yeah, he kind of was like very, very like apprehensive, and I don't know. It's kind of like everyone's different tolerances of. Everyone has a different tolerance of alcohol. I don't know. He's just under oath, probably, and trying to answer that question. But it did look kind of suspect. Like, you just whatever, yeah. Just say that you drank a lot. Like, you don't have to say you're drunk, but I don't know.
You talked about drinking and sexual exploits, did you not?
Senator, let me take a step back and explain high school. I was number 1 in the class. Freshman.
And I thought
no.
I thought only the Senate.
You got this up. I'm gonna talk about my high school. No. I'm gonna
let him answer.
I'm gonna talk about my high school record. If you're gonna sit here and mock me.
You said.
Wait, what was that? Like, they were mocking him? That was weird.
I welcome any kind of investigation. I quote you. I welcome any kind of investigation.
I welcome whatever the committee wants to do, because I'm telling the truth.
I want to know what you want to do.
I'm telling the truth.
I want to know what you want to do, Judge.
I'm innocent. I'm innocent of this charge.
Then you're prepared for an FBI investigation?
They don't reach conclusions. You reach the conclusion,
No,
Senator.
but they do investigate questions.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsay said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy. Are you a gang rapist?
No.
Gang rapist.
I cannot imagine.
Oh, so that's where the meme came from. Okay.
Go ahead.
That's a meme? Gang rapist?
Yeah.
Okay. No idea.
Yeah, there's been like 3 memes birthed from this whole thing. That's why we were talking about, like, kind of pre-stream, is that like the modern day person, like, we know about things in politics through like memes and GIFs, and it is kind of funny. Like, I just know about the meme of drinking beer, and there was some other meme as well, and then apparently now there's a meme of gang rapists. So.
Oh yeah. No, this is it. This is where I'm just gonna say that the memes are the DNA of the soul, and
I mean,
basically,
are you going with the whole Richard Dawkins thing?
I was about to say a little bit, yeah, and also another thing is the Mr. Graham guy, like the Republican, he was also being on a defense about this whole accusation, because there's been false allegations of rape on men in general, and
right.
This whole thing. And also another thing is, it's been over 35 years now, right? That the rape
statute
accusation.
of limitations.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of baffled that it took 35 years. Yet this person hasn't reported right away.
Right.
But the thing is, when it comes to victims of violence or sexual assault or even rape, it does take a lot of strength for the individual to actually look out for help. So I'm still kind of stuck in this middle of where, like, who's bullshitting at this point?
I have no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like they want like it, I think they want the left kind of wants there to be a scandal, so they reach with so many things, and this is part of the reaching where it's like, oh, we found something, and this has to be kind of coordinated for for this lady to come out and accuse him now at this critical time. Like, it's not just a coincidence that it's right before his nomination for Supreme Court and everything like that, and what he was saying about just the Democrats wanting to keep a seat open, whether it's true or not, I don't know. And the whole rape accusation thing, it's always like a he said she said thing, especially if it's not reported right away, because you have the standard procedure of rape with she said it wasn't even rape, it was sexual assault. So she basically accused him of pushing her into a room, locking it, and like sitting on top of her and laughing. So I guess that's what he did. So it's like, it's kind of hard, like, what are you gonna prosecute him for? And I guess it's more just prosecuting the guy in terms of like the court of public opinion because to what happened. But and there's also this video here. This was kind of a viral video because with politics, it is kind of unfortunate where people, especially Trump supporters, they will defend. It's no more implicit when it comes to politics when there's like teams where it's like Cowboys versus the Redskins, and it's like these NFL teams where Republicans versus Democrats, because this video kind of went not viral, but it was kind of popular because of this lady trying to defend John Kavanaugh, and it just came out very like weird and everything. So I wanted to play it for you guys and get your guys' reaction, unless you had something to say.
No.
Already? Cool.
Bozeman, Montana yesterday, NBC's Ali Vitale asked a Trump supporter and mother of 2 daughters about the accusations against Kavanaugh.
Groping a woman, which is, what is that, at 18? I mean, how many guys, think that's no big deal? Even back then, it was, it's not a big deal.
What? She just turned around to her teenage daughters, is like, yeah, like, groping's no big deal, guys.
I'm sure you two have been groped before. It's no big deal, like.
Yeah, this is why this video, and it's just she's a Trump supporter, so it's like you're defending, like it's okay to concede, like, hey, groping isn't bad, sexual assault isn't bad, but like when you want to like save face in every little situation, it just comes out it comes out pretty sad.
It's really bad. Yeah, it's damage
because
control.
And because of the internet, this will kind of live forever. So
yeah, wait for the memes about this. It's like, hey, groping isn't that bad. I mean, look, I have 2 daughters here, about 18. You guys been groped? Yeah, like.
Yeah, I mean, when 2 parties consent, it's it doesn't violate the NAP. You know what I mean, my guy?
Oh my god.
Yeah, the NAP, my guy. Sure.
Yeah, I like the girls that just let me touch upon them and grope them. There's some girls get upset, but they just don't. I don't understand it. It's no big deal.
I just don't like the tribalism.
Yeah, it is kind of like the most extreme tribalism, because even though, I mean, if you don't know where I come from on the political spectrum, I am, very right leaning, and I vote libertarian and everything, and I have kind of a libertarian point
like
away.
A Hopian anarcho-capitalist. He read Hans Hermann Hoppe, God, the democracy has failed, and calls me a degenerate. Off stream.
That's pretty cool. actually.
Wait, what? What did I read?
No, I'm just
What did I-
joking. I'm just joking. It was just a joke for Master Shadow Ninja.
I was about to say this. This isn't the first time I heard like a fucking Hoppian and Cap Brazilian talking about degeneracy. But go on.
Gotcha.
The different Discord server. It's really funny, dude.
The what is really funny? You cut out.
I said it's a different Discord server. It's really funny.
Oh, gotcha. I'm fucking out of touch with everything, guys. I'm a fucking old man.
Yeah, you're like a boomer.
I'm trying to get. Yeah.
It's all good, dude. Quake 3 was a good game too.
All right, let's finish watching this.
Just take away from his character and his job to do what he needs to do as a Supreme Court nominee. If he was pro-abortion, the liberals wouldn't be fighting this hard. We're all
If he was pro-life, then like we should defend him by any means necessary. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it is kind of reaching. Yeah, it is reaching, especially with it. It's a bad look with a mom and her daughters and everything. It's like, I don't know, and that's the thing too with the whole Trump thing is that I don't, the whole spark of my channel was kind of criticizing people complaining about him, but we are going to play some other clips about him here as well, and like the supporters, it is kind of like a blind cultish following sometimes, and I don't know, that is kind of, it's kind of scary. But
oh yeah, I mean they look like they do have an extra chromosome, knowing the daughter with the stunner shades on, but yeah,
she looks like one of those like one of those like
she looks
Kids
like
Bop videos. See how he looks like, David Charette.
Oh man,
you don't know alternative facts. Spinosaurus skin.
Oh god.
I just looked him up. No, dude, I'm fucking out of touch with everything, guys.
Good.
Yeah.
Stay that way, please.
Bro.
Once you go into the deep end, there's no going back.
Bro, David Charette is the ultimate cat girl. Come on, let's be honest.
Oh my god. Yeah. This is why I smoke weed. But anyway. Go on, continue.
That's something that sucks in Brazil too, the weed.
Oh yeah.
I had a friend
over there. Oh.
Yeah, I know. I had a friend come over and I showed him the good stuff, and he was just blowing his mind.
Oh yeah.
Basically for people who don't know, the weed from Brazil is like mids that come like stuck between like bricks and stuff.
Oh yeah. It's crap. That's why you stick to rum over there.
Yeah, cachaça.
Yeah, dude. So,
all right, let's finish watching this.
because it's not supported by any facts or evidence whatsoever.
Joining me now live from Bozeman, Montana.
All right.
Trump can do no wrong. Or, no, it was Kavanaugh, but whatever. It's related to Trump, but, you get my point.
Yeah, well, it's all related to Trump and
if you're a Trump supporter, that's fine, but it's like, bro, like, do you realize that like people have flaws, and they should be called out? Like, whenever, they should be called out. Like, do you honestly think that like these people, like Trump and any of his constituents, like, are just like these perfect angels? Like, this is my problem with like some of these people, man. Like, I mean, you can see this on the left too, sure, but
I'm so fucking high right now.
It's like some people are like,
oh
they're
my
just
God.
so pro-Trump. It's like really annoying. Like they don't like acknowledge that like there could be flaws, or corruption, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's tribal. Like Master ShadowNinja said, it's just tribalism. It's my team versus your team, unfortunately, and that's what the whole basic message I've tried to promote is that as someone who comes from Brazil, is that I've learned to not have faith in the government. The government, that's what makes America great, is that, in my opinion, it really doesn't matter who the president is for the most part. Obviously, some things matter, but for the most part, you know, you can succeed, you can do whatever you want with the freedoms that we have here. Because I come from somewhere where when the government tries to get involved with many things, it doesn't go right. So, and that's
the free market, you know, resolves everything. You know what I mean? It's just perfect. You know, corporations coming over, deforesting everything, and creating McDonald's by creating more opportunities for individuals within the open marketplace of ideas.
Oh, I know you're being sarcastic.
I am so fucking no, dude. I'm sorry. I'm kind of an asshole right now. It's just
no, you're fine.
All right, dude.
You know, I believe. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the open market, you know, there needs. I don't think the government needs to impose limits in terms of what they try to impose on, because look at what happened with Brazil when it came to, especially in 2014 with the government. You know, Brazil had the most booming economy, and then
FIFA
you know,
happened. The World
yeah,
Cup.
yeah, FIFA were the World Cup, and it was all about trying to preserve an image instead of, you know, really seeking jobs, seeking, you know, things for the economy. I mean, there's a whole host of issues, but you can't deny, especially from Brazil, like the more they fed government programs, especially what was that thing called, the like it's not welfare, but something, you know, the more they fed those government programs, the more it kind of turned shit. There was a specific one though. I forgot the name of it right now.
It was like a stimulus, or no. There's another one they shed.
No, it's like Bolsa, like something like something
like, yeah, like it's a something to do with stocks or something like that. I don't know, something with.
I forgot what it was, but yeah, because that was kind of the beginning of the end when it came to the whole kicking out of all the politicians and back in 2014 that they had. I mean, so yeah, and when it comes to this whole Trump thing, and with this whole situation, you know, I think it's all gonna blow over. The unfortunate, you know, the thing is with Trump is I think he is gonna win again, just because I don't see anyone else taking over.
I don't think he's.
And a lot of people,
in my opinion, but
who else is there? Like, who else is even?
God, I just hope Pocahontas doesn't show up. She might be a candidate. No,
I mean, if we, I just think if we don't know the candidates, like now, like Elizabeth Warren, who is that even, of anyone who, like, you know, they keep saying they want to impeach Trump, but it's like, okay, then so you want Mike Pence instead?
Yeah.
Who's on the, bro? We need the American Pinochet. We need to bring up freaking, you know, electroshock therapy, free helicopter rides. Bro, Mike Pence would be a much better.
Mike Pence is pretty based. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, like Trump, he's not going far, and Trump's a pussy, man. Like, the guy is basically a slightly right-wing Democrat. Like, Mike Pence, like, he's your man. Like, he's, you know, he's on the right side, if you get what I'm saying.
Nah, you know, the whole thing about the gay conversion, shocking the gays, that was his old opinion like a decade or so ago, I believe.
Sure.
But the people try to, like, attack him because of the whole gay thing.
I was trying to limit the rights of same-sex couples and stuff like that, so he kind of does.
But they have, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, they'll have, like, especially like after the election, where it's like they had like groups of people outside his house like making out, and it's like, oh yeah, here we're showing you how gay we are and everything, as if Mike Pence is like a cartoon villain or something, and he's gonna see that and be like, oh my god.
Have you not seen the orgy pile?
Bro, he's literally a
Christ.
He is actually Christ. What?
No, have you seen the? It kind of reminds me of how you said, like, you know, Brazil kind of copy pastes Brazil, you know, American politics sometimes. Have you seen what the like homosexual population did next to the statue of Christ? It was
No.
pretty based.
What did
It was
they
just
do?
it was an orgy pile next to Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, but is anyone really looking at that and like, oh my god,
Gay people.
you know,
a lot of religious people. And,
Yeah, the
you know,
religious right. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty hilarious actually.
It's offensive to some Christians.
Yeah, but you know, they also have a safe
haven't seen
space.
them
It's called the church.
What happened?
There we go.
What happened? I didn't hear.
I said there's a safe space for them. It's called the church.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That's the Christian safe space.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of rape and sexual assault, though, the next video I wanted to show you guys. Did we talk about Bill Cosby in the last stream class?
I remember we talked about him a few times on stream, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, I wanted to bring him up because, yeah, this is someone who, I mean, it's kind of like, it was like without a shadow of a doubt, he did drug and rape, like, I think it was, I don't know how many confirmed victims, like 30 to 50, and there's probably even more than that who didn't come forward and everything. So, but when you think about it, it's like Bill Cosby is like the most successful serial rapist, like in history. I mean, at least well-known serial rapist and everything, but, yeah, I just think it's pretty crazy. Like he got sentenced to like 9 to 10 years, and he's like 81 now, and he's like going blind, and it's kind of like a fall from grace, like a really crazy fall from grace.
You hear the stories about like his first day in prison? Apparently, I think someone threw a biscuit at him or something.
Yeah, someone threw like a stale hot dog bun or something.
Oh yeah, something like that. And then like also they took away his cane, and like yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna get special treatment. I mean, especially if you're, I mean, I guess he's getting what he deserves. But someone kind of mocked up because there's like a scene of, I guess like a scene from his show. I've never really watched the Cosby Show, but you know, obviously that was very big and a lot of people growing up. It was a little bit before my time, but. Someone kind of mocked this little video with some music, and where Bill Cosby is talking about his barbecue sauce, and it's pretty creepy. So I thought it was just kind of fitting to while we talk about Cosby to watch this real quick. So let's take a look. Critical Unbeliever. A Critical Unbeliever. If you want to jump on the Discord, bro, you can jump on the stream. That's how you can join.
Yeah, just go to the Discord, and you have the cool people world, so all you have to do is click on podcast on there, and it should let you in. If there's any trouble, just send me a personal DM on Discord.
Yeah. Critical Unbeliever or Mullato Jesus, you're already in our Discord, so you should be able to just jump on there real quick. So yeah, while you jump on, we're gonna watch this video here.
Certainly is nice to see them work things out for themselves.
Yeah, but work everything out for themselves. It's my barbecue sauce.
Your barbecue sauce.
My barbecue sauce. Haven't you ever noticed after people have some of my barbecue sauce, after a while when it kicks in, they get all huggy-buggy?
Stop.
I'm dead serious. Haven't you ever noticed that after one of my barbecues and they have the sauce, people want to get right a cup of it, I said. Left it up there breathing. Why don't you give the chicken to these people? Let's go on up and have some sauce.
He sounds like he's drunk. Yo, what up? Mullato Jesus, how's it going?
Yo, what's good?
Yo, I love that. I love that video of Bill Cosby asking the little girl when she wants to take a drink of his special juice. That's the shit.
Hey, Mullato Jesus, it's been some time.
Yo, dude, you want to see that one part when Fat Albert with the retarded child? Look at this.
What?
I'm sorry. Wait, hold up. Sorry, just there's a freaking ad playing right now. I'm sorry. We have to start that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, the OBS has a weird thing. Yeah, it's a fucking ad for sumo. There's like sumo wrestlers.
It's the best water I've ever seen in my whole life.
You can't skip it through the OBS.
I'm gonna try. Hold up.
No, it's okay. No, don't worry. So yeah, guys, we're sitting through an ad.
We also did some whale shark.
We're sitting through an ad to Japan on USA Today.
Being at the mercy of the tide.
Oh, yeah.
Has really given us an opportunity.
They've
to
found a way to
experience
not
people in the culture.
allow ad block on here. So even though with ad block is on our browsers, it doesn't appear in OBS. But yeah, that is a pretty crazy thing with so one part of Fat Albert with the retarded child. It's kind of weird too. In many cartoons, when you look at like old cartoons, it's like what they have in that shit. Like you don't notice it when you're a kid, but when you watch it as an adult, it's like, whoa, like that was really in there. So I'm curious to see this clip. All right, I think.
Wait, hold on, Mulatto Jesus. Do you have the watch together thing?
I'm not there. DM me. That way we won't derail this. You guys keep going. Just DM me, Classy Liberal, and we'll figure it out.
All right.
No, just go to general. It's right there in the Discord.
No, it's DM. I already sent you it.
Bang.
There you go. So yeah, this is Fat Albert. There you go. Cool. So you should be able.
The good news is I'm going to teach anyway, no matter how long it takes. All right, now, class, settle down. I want you to meet Dennis, a new student.
I remember this episode.
You may sit down now, Dennis.
Dang, that dude looks high as fuck in the background.
Well, Dennis is in school with Fat Albert and the kids, and that's where Miss Wooker asks the questions, even though she knows all the answers. She even knows the secret about Dennis, which isn't going to be a secret too long, as you'll see.
I don't want to cut into your recess time, Albert, but there's something I have to talk to you about. It's about our new boy, Dennis. Have you noticed something unusual about him?
Only that he reminds me of some characters that I saw on the Brown Hornet.
It goes deeper than that, Albert. Dennis is what doctors term an atypical child. Perhaps this might clarify it better. He is retarded.
Oh my god.
Clarify a few things up.
It's dark.
Oh my
I don't
god.
understand the problem. This is a great episode. It's educational.
It is educational. It's just the worded. Oh.
How come the Muppets got, credit for having a retarded Muppet? Not the Muppet. Sesame Street. Sesame Street got credit for having a retarded Sesame Streeter, but Bill Cosby had a retarded kid, which I assume is about to get his ass kicked by the Fat Albert gang. Rightfully so, but at least they were nice enough to have a retarded kid in the 10 out of 10.
Yeah, dude. Like
Bill
he was
Cosby
ahead of
did
his
nothing
time,
wrong.
man.
His reaction, though. I like that face.
Yeah, no, he's just like, oh shit.
Retarded.
Oh.
He's like, oh.
Okay. That is kind of like, that word is going to be banned very soon, by the way. I don't know if you guys, do you guys keep up with like any stand-up comedy or like are you familiar?
I mean, yeah, you probably couldn't get away with using retarded right now in a lot of contexts and comedy sets, dude.
Yeah,
Well, Tom Segura, he just released a Netflix special, and literally the joke was like, "Are we allowed to say the word retarded?" So that was the joke, like talking about that verbatim, and people like went after him. Like, oh, like you said it, like you need to say like the R word or something. It's like, no, like it is kind of dumb when they do that, but I don't know. It's like we're over time we're just banning. Seems like we're banning more and more words, and I don't know. Luckily, Netflix defended him. Yeah, luckily Netflix was on his side though.
Oh yeah, I don't know for how long. That's the thing, you know.
Right, and Netflix fired one of their own showrunners for using the N-word. It's in an extended version of it, in a conversation where he was telling his employees that he no longer wanted the N-word to be in any of the shows that he was a part of. So he was like, "Hey guys, you can't say fishbone anymore." You know what I mean? And the Netflix was like, "Hey, you just said fishbone." And he's like, "No, but I said you can't say that word anymore." And they said, "You're right, and you made that rule, and now you're punished for it."
Oh no, you're punished.
I heard. I think there is a little more context. Well, I mean, this could be wrong, but I heard that he was like kind of being like an asshole about it. Like he would like purposely just like in the meetings of like the Netflix meetings, like be like, "Okay, guys, we're not gonna say the word nigger, okay?" So and like he would like go at, you know, like the person who would like goes out of their way to say the word, like when it's kind of like it's, I don't know. That's what I heard at least. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's
then there's more things to it then. Because yeah, I hadn't heard that. I'd only heard the initial story. I hadn't heard that.
Right.
Like, so I mean, that also sounds. Both of those. See, that's the problem though, is that both of those things sound completely plausible in 2018.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, guys, Mulatto Jesus, I'm actually kind of glad you're here because I was kind of saving this video for a good time on the stream. I don't know if you guys saw this clip, but I think it would be a pretty good reaction. I don't know if you guys saw this earlier in the week. So this is a Russian feminist.
Oh, I've seen this before.
And I don't even know if this is staged or not. Like, honestly, it's like, I'm surprised this chick.
There's feminists in Russia. I thought they were like super right wing. Like, do they even still fund gender studies in Russian universities at this point?
Yeah, there's a lot of. They still have whatever they called they used to call urban feminism. There's still plenty of feminism in Russia, but this woman did say that she used something like 20 plus actors to make this video, and actually I saw that when maybe Vox or The Verge or something like that, they shared the video. They edited their editorial was some people have claimed that it was fake. It was her. She's the one that said, "I staged this. These guys were all actors." But I've seen hella, for lack of a better term, left leaning, kind of like Generation Z fake news outlets being like, some people have said it's fake, but like clearly but at least it's a lesson for other people that have seen the video. Yeah. So like they acknowledge that it's probably fake, but like lesson learned, right? I don't know if that works. I don't know what if I break into a school, right, and point a gun at someone and blood packs explode from their chest, and everybody at the school is for sure certain they just watched a man die. You know, that I just walked on campus and blew a man's fucking chest open. They all think that, and then the cops come in and say, "You know what? No, it's fake." And it's okay because everybody learned a lesson, right?
It's just a prank, bro.
To what? What's the lesson? Look out for people that would randomly run into a school, and look out for women that just happen to want to pour acid on your dick.
The lesson is to drink your milks.
Yeah, drink your milk. That'll protect your dick from this lady's fucking acid.
Yeah, no, it was not acid. She threw bleach, I believe.
No, yeah, it's bleach. But what's the difference? Especially,
that's basically, that's cancer. Holy shit.
I mean, if you consider, we got to think. There's been acid attacks around the UK, right? I can only assume there's been acid attacks around major European cities, right, for the last 2 or 3 years. If somebody just walked up to you and poured anything in your lap, if somebody opened up a Pepsi can and started pouring it in your lap, your immediate reaction wouldn't be, I'm positive that's Pepsi. Why are you doing that? You'd be like, what else is going on here? This is the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, someone would get dropped over here, like for real.
Yeah,
I just spent a week immersed in Slavic culture. This woman would have been murdered if she tried to do anything close to that. This not just fake; it's almost offensive that people would pretend like Russia's that docile.
Yeah,
It's like it's like if this was really now that it kind of is all making sense because you confirm that this is kind of fake. I guess we'll still watch a little bit, but when you watch it, it's like I was waiting for some guy to just like clock her. It's like, especially in Russia. I mean, I don't know.
And you see the people around them are like, no, if you'd have done that to me, I'd kick your ass. Like every person this one woman looks at her like, dude, that dude's about to fuck you up. Like it's like this honest look of like, hey, you're about to die.
Despair, yeah. So basically, it was like actors, but then the people reacting to it, like around it, like weren't actors, right?
Right. Yeah.
Gotcha. What is the big deal with fucking manspreading? Like, why is this such an issue for like feminists? Like, do you realize we have balls?
Can I say something? I propose a solution to this. So this is a sort of act of protest. So I call it man stretching. So what you do is that you put your legs together, you have them like stretched out, and you kind of make like an L shape with your body. So technically you're not man spreading, but you're making that really uncomfortable and inconvenient for people who are walking around the train or bus, right? And it's like, well, I'm not man spreading, am I? Have my legs together.
I think you'll find that if you watch through a few of those videos, you'll see that they do actually contextualize any type of male over presence in a single space to be the same thing as man spreading. So like the same thing with your putting your arms out. Here's the thing. I don't actually think that there's a large contingent of people pissed off about quote unquote man spreading. I think it's one of the first few lessons, maybe like one of the middle lessons in one of these feminist curriculums. So in some of these classes that 100% of these women are in, because they're all 20-something, right? There's no 50-year-old women complaining about it, mind you. These college students, maybe even fresh out of university, are complaining about a thing that they're learning about currently, right? So they learn about the idea that men might take up more space, so they're complaining about it because it's fresh in their mind as a complaint from their textbook. When they actually have to sit down with that thought, they're like, oh shit, this is ridiculous. But in these actions that they do, that's the time that they affirm it to themselves. Oh, this is a thing I got from school, and now I'm carrying it out. You see the same. Like we forget about these people coming right out of college and making like early college mistakes in whatever field they're practicing, because that's what filmmakers are like too, right? A filmmaker right out of film school makes a shitty fucking movie that nobody wants to see and nobody likes. It takes filmmaking in the wrong direction and makes something boring. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. They're taking the textbook example of whatever the fuck they were just learning and then applying it to the real world and being like, see, that's why, Karl Marx was right about how socializing economies makes them more stable over longer periods of time. They just finish uni.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we got to understand that, like you're saying, like kids right out of college, like they're going to be, they have that, a lot of kids coming out of college, they have like, oh, we want to change the world. And so it's going to gear towards feminism.
Men's right activist class. That's how I learned about man stretching. It's a protest to feminism.
We get it. You drink Soylent. But anyway. Like my dude, I'm just saying that the typical college student, when they get out of college, they have this like I would say that the anime protagonist syndrome, as I like to call it. They'll think that they're going to be the next Hokage, changing the world and all that kind of stuff. And
that's fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, no, and most of the times, and for some odd reason, they're just a bunch of mayonnaise monkeys, running around with daddy's credit card, and have these soft sciences and soft sciences, or more particularly social sciences, that are mostly BS bullshit. So I don't know. And now the identity politics thing and all that, I would have to say there's also some shit on the right too that's been kind of having this little special snowflake syndrome going on here. And right here, the whole man spreading. I honestly think that this whole thing in Russia, like Mullato Jesus Sen, this woman would have been Batista bombed. She would have been choke slammed. She would have been slapped the shit out of. Like, holy crap. So I think this is fixed, but let's watch this. You know what I mean? Like, let's start doing this.
Well, it's pretty much Mulatto Jesus, pretty much confirmed fake by her, right? I mean, that with the actors. So
Yeah,
exactly. So it is kind of like, it is a pretty, I guess, a typical clickbaity video that kind of was passed around on social media and everything. So I mean, it would make sense. So, but we'll take a look at it.
Манифест, посвященный проблеме мэнспрейзинга, отвратительному явлению, с которым борются во всем мире, и о котором умалчивают у нас. Мужчины, демонстрирующие свою альфа-самцовость в метро, при женщинах и детях, достойны презрения. Если вы публично показываете, какой вы горячий мачо, мы публично охладим ваш пыл. Это видео помогли мне снять друзья, полностью разделяющие мою позицию.
I like her pun. She's ready to cool you off, guys.
Yeah, she's clever.
Yeah, you're not a true Slav when you're not.
Is
a
that
true
really?
Slav.
Go ahead.
You're not a true Slav if you just smack this this woman right here, man.
See, I'm beginning to believe everybody on that train is an actor because not a single person is squatting, and I don't see a single bottle of vodka.
Exactly.
This is a set.
And also, don't forget dressing all jumpsuits in Adidas. They have to be Adidas, my guy.
Right, you're right. None of these guys are wearing Ushanka hats. This isn't Russia. Where's the horse?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the extremely large, middle-aged woman that looks like she could actually take down a bear?
It's a stereotype that the Russians are aggressive, but I was just watching a video like 2 days ago where a guy was asks for directions from this group of Slavs, and a couple of people ignore him. One dude is just like dancing, and then the camera moves over and it shows this other dude who's like, "Fuck you, what the fuck is your problem?" But in Slavic, like just screaming at him in some Russian fucking language, just mad that the dude stopped right there. And his friend's like, just chill out. And the dude's cussing this dude out. He's like, how do I get to, Slavikovitz or whatever the fuck the name of the cities are? And this dude's pissed about it. They're just an aggressive people.
Right. Yeah, it is. People who I've known who've come from that part of the world, from Russia and the Eastern European countries and stuff. They say it's because like, if you show like from growing up and influence of their parents of having to go through like war times and everything like that, they're like taught that if you show like that you're nice or you're friendly, if you show that kind of energy, it's because you're kind of stupid for doing that, because that's showing vulnerability. So that's why everyone's kind of tough and hard and macho and aggressive and everything. But yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I've heard. So
that makes sense though, because it is like so I just did my video about Khabib Nurmagomedov, and I was watching a bunch of videos from Dagestan about Avar people, just like immersed in that content for the last week, and
right,
almost everything was people discussing how one generation removed from them, these people were enduring this crazy hardship, and it's like this 28-year-old dude who's talking about, yeah, my dad fought in 4 wars 10 years ago and shit, and
right.
just the context for not the context, but the way you get to 30 is a lot harder for a lot of these people in a lot of these countries. Maybe not if you're living in St. Petersburg, but if you're living out in the mountains, part of an Avar tribe, yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you talk about Khabib Nurmagomedov from Dagestan, I mean, there's a video of him like as a little kid, like wrestling a bear and shit, like a baby bear.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Conor McGregor's nothing.
Which I do think McGregor will knock out Khabib, though.
Yeah, sure.
I just think that, I don't think Khabib will be prepared for like what you have to go against when you face McGregor, because you're kind of facing like the energy in the arena. I mean, look what happened with like Jose Aldo and Eddie Alvarez. Like they kind of got picked apart. I mean,
but I don't think that stuff affects Khabib in the same way. Because he doesn't perceive like glory in the same way. You know what I mean?
He's hungry.
If you think for guys, he's a killer's hungry, right? For Jose Aldo, it was always about the same, like a boxer's fame. You know what I mean? The prize fighter fame. For Khabib, it's legitimately just him trying to impress his dad and just be like what he thinks is a good fighter. So he's not so fazed by like crowds, and he's super humble in the way that he approaches the crowd's energy. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's different. It's a different
I don't know too much about this MMA stuff. I just don't like
when it comes to Khabib in general, he's the fact that like I saw videos of him wrestling bears, those are his pets or something like that. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool and all. But whatchamacallit? Stylistically speaking, Conor McGregor might be at a disadvantage. However, not a lot of people know this, that, Conor McGregor is very much familiar with the ground game. I think he currently holds a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And
yeah, he was recently in a grappling competition, but Chad Mendes took the fight against Conor McGregor on 2 weeks' notice, right?
Yep.
And took Conor down 5 times in 2 rounds before he got fucking obviously gassed, and then ate 2 really solid straights from Conor McGregor to go completely out and to lose. But
yeah,
with no stamina, a leg injury, he still took Conor McGregor down 5 times and was winning the fight. He only lost in the moment that he got knocked out. So for the other, whatever it was, 9 minutes in like 40 something seconds, he was winning that fight. If you think Khabib, with a full training camp and no injuries, doesn't have better takedowns than an injured short notice Chad Mendes.
Well, McGregor too, though. McGregor he's a much like different Conor McGregor from that time as well. I don't know. Like, you don't think Khabib was rattled at all, like in that press conference?
I think he didn't like having his connections to Zavudin Magomedov exposed in the public. I don't think he liked that, and I don't think he liked when Conor was talking about his dad. But he doesn't respond to those things even the same way you and I would. Like, if somebody started talking shit about our parents, it would be like, all right, let's fight. But he just says to Conor, like, I don't know what you're talking about. What is speak English, right?
Yeah.
He just diverts it a little bit. If you look at Jose gets up, right, and starts trying to mimic what Conor McGregor does. Conor puts his feet up, Jose puts his feet up. Conor grabs his belt, so Jose wants his belt. He's pushed by Conor's energy.
But Khabib, like, he did like kind of show some vulnerability where he was trying to like explain himself, and he's kind of like the wrong kind of guy to try to talk and explain himself. He's like, no, explain to me, you know, I'm going to smash you. Like, I don't know, like, talking isn't his forte. Like, it's the wrong kind of, you know, foreign accent to try to talk. But he did seem like kind of rattled and was trying to explain himself with, and he did kind of shut up when McGregor was, you know, you made a video about it with, you know, McGregor also going after his manager and stuff, and his manager having like you know, those ties and stuff, and he's you know, he was also talking about his managers, like McGregor, like exposed, like, you know, not exposed, but like he was commenting on things
that
yeah,
shit
where's Noah?
definitely makes that shit definitely gets to the to Nurmagomedov, but not in the like I said, not in the same way it would get to, you know, say even a Dennis Seaver. Like the way he perceives those interactions that's why he's trying to explain himself is he sort of buddy fights people, right? He everybody is brother, everybody is friend. So
right
in Khabib's mind, when Conor starts talking this shit, he's like, why didn't you ask your friend about why I slapped him? And, you know, then you could have come to me. Like he wants to say, hey, we could have talked out this issue together. You know what I mean? About the time that I slapped your brother, or, you know, Artem, excuse me, Lobov, where other guys would have been like, no, fuck that. I slapped that bitch. What are you going to do about it? Because Khabib doesn't, like, and not to call him autistic, he just doesn't perceive the aggression the same way another person would.
It's the language barrier too. That's another thing. Like,
yeah.
Well, he's like very devout Muslim, and he's like pacifist, you know. Well, he claims to be, at least, and I mean, I think that's part of it too. I mean,
but there's a distinct difference in like those Avar people than even main Chechen or just a general Eastern European person. Those Avar dudes are legit like quiet, cool, calm, and collected without having that they don't have that Fedor effect, right? Khabib, looking at him, he doesn't look like, oh, this guy is also an axe murderer in his spare time, like how like Fedor or Alexander.
Yeah, no, like Fedor. Have you seen the way he hits people and stuff? He just no facial expression, just no facial expression throughout the fight. There's this one guy who suplexed him, and he still made it and got
the
guy
Kevin
tapped
Randleman fight. Yeah, Kevin Randleman dumped Fedor on the top of his head, like spiked him on the ground, and Fedor hit the ground and then threw on an armbar, and Kevin Randleman tapped out.
Expression.
And it's
just stoic, cold face, always that Russian.
Like that's like that is scary. That's very scary. I think like even Boss Rutan like commentated about it before, and he was like, you know, have you seen the way he like moves and everything? It's just no facial expression at all, like nothing.
Well, his fight style is slightly robotic, really stiff. You know what I mean? Like if you programmed an AI to have a fight, and it was just doing 1,000 calculations per second, so it didn't have all that extra flowy movement, like how Conor can do a lot of extra movement that doesn't really tire his muscles out. Fedor just is like stand straight up stiff. Oh, we fight? Okay, time for hooks. You are knockout. I am win.
His whole entire body into it too. That's
right.
Whenever he knocked out Brett Rogers, and he went flying over Brett Rogers after he knocked him out.
Yep. Oh man.
Oh yeah, that was a beautiful knockout. Yeah. But yeah, it's true what you're saying. Like he like loads up like on his like when he knocked out Brett Rogers, like he like loads up like all his foot on his like right foot, and just I don't know. It's a masterful to watch. So, but yeah, Russians are crazy. Russians are aggressive. Russians. There's many reasons to it.
They're pretty based. I'm just saying.
A lot of speaking of homophobia, there's a lot of homophobia too in Russia. And I think or Mullato Jesus, before you got on air, we were talking about like the machismo culture in Brazil and stuff. And that is, I think that is kind of why Russia has kind of the same thing, and why they do have the high homophobia as well. So, but yeah, I guess we'll try to finish watching this, even though it's confirmed fake. But
anyways, I'm gonna have to get going because I'm about to have the Hershey squirts. So, going to
Hershey
bounce.
squirts.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, man.
All right, peace.
All right, man. Thanks for joining the show. Have a good one.
No problem. Thank you.
Peace. Peace. Yeah, I guess we can move on and wrap up with some final clips here. This was the next one I was gonna watch. Did any of you guys see this? This happened, I think, like yesterday or something. With Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, dude, this is actually my new favorite thing on the internet.
This was pretty hilarious. Are you guys familiar with Lindsay Lohan and what she's done? Right? Or just so I can explain it to the audience.
Well, as of recent, Lindsay Lohan has converted to Islam, obviously learned Arabic, has just
Are you serious?
Yeah. At first I thought it was just like her, like maybe being off on a bender or something like that and just kind of doing something, but she's serious. She's learned Arabic and everything. And I guess she's in France or something like that. And she sees just some people walking with kids. So she starts recording them and accusing them of kidnapping these kids. And I don't want to spoil the end of the video.
Yeah, let's take a look here at what happens. Let's take a look here at what happens, because this is just a gold of a video. So, yeah.
Hey everyone, I just want to show you a family that I met. That's a Syrian refugee family that I'm really worried about in Paris.
I think it's hilarious how it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to a Syrian refugee family. Like, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? There's some white hair, redhead,
right,
freckled, fucking very obvious. Like, and her voice is like raspy. You know, she gonna come up and say, "Hey, you guys, hey, is that your fucking kid right there? Huh? Is that your fucking kid?" Like they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, sorry, ma'am. Damn, you caught us."
Yeah, she looks. Yeah, I mean, she looks like she looks like a crazy fucking person. So, I mean, I don't really blame the people what they did to her. So you guys are gonna
see here she looks like she put the lipstick like around the outside of her mouth. You know, like how Buffalo Bill does in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
She looks like she just like rubs lipstick all on her face. Like it's so horrible.
She sounds on one too on this video or in this live stream. So
I'm gonna introduce you to them. Musa, tell me your story so I can help you.
The white savior.
What do you need? What do you need? Do you want to stay in a hotel tonight? Do you want to watch movies? Yeah.
The fuck?
It's so cool, right? To watch a movie on TV or a computer. Yeah.
I think they understand English.
They're just like nodding and smiling.
It is kind of like condescending as fuck too. Where it's like, hey, little kid, like, come with me. Like, get off the streets from your parents. Come with me. I got movies on computers I can show you and candy. It's like, it's very creepy and very condescending.
Well, the dad's like, I don't know what's going on. Are we on TV?
Yeah, they don't understand.
Yeah, fun. Keep talking to us, I guess.
Let's go. Let me take them, let them sleep. Come with me. You and me come. Just come. Just come with me. Not your husband. Just you and your kids. You shouldn't be sleeping on the floor. But you're a good little boy. And this is not fair. You should not have them on the floor. You should be a hardworking woman. I'm freezing right now. And you should be doing what you do for your children so they have a better life. No, this is dirty. Leave it. No. I will get you new. I'll get you new. No. Leave it. Dirty. Ew. It's wet. Leave. No, party. Come. No, we go. Guys. No, yes. And خلاص. Guys, you're going the wrong way. My car's here. Come. Look what's happening. They're trafficking children. Shut up. I won't leave until I take you. Now I know who you are. Don't fuck with me.
Don't fuck with me while I follow you. This is priceless. It's like you're human trafficking. Yeah, they can't be here. They can't be their parents, right? I really don't understand.
The likelihood that two people kidnapped a kid and then sat on the side of the road with it.
Yeah.
And just like hung out while somebody else came up with a camera.
It's like completely off topic, but what's up with certain people? Like they go.
What's up with what?
Like what's up with certain people, right? They go to this weird phase. They go to like another country, and like with Westerners, really, this only happens with Westerners. Like, you know, a lot of them come from a decent background, but something, I don't know, messed up in their lives. They go to like these other countries, and I don't know, they adopt these weird cultures, and I don't know, I just hope I just see that this happens a lot with like a lot of people, a lot of depressed people. Like they go to India, or
oh yeah, you're talking about like people who convert to, like, you have like these Western people who like convert to Islam like out of nowhere, and
or not just Islam, but just like Middle Eastern religions in general, or Asian religions in general, like freaking Hinduism or Buddhism.
Right.
But did she actually like go through with it, and, like just converted to Islam, and like?
Yeah, she was like on the Today Show. Was on there, and like it's weird too, like where you have these. Madonna did that too, where like they have like an accent, like. She speaks Arabic, but then when she speaks English with them, it's like this weird thing people do where they, like, if you're speaking to someone from a different country, like you'll speak with an accent like they would speak. It's like, why are you speaking that way? Can you speak with a normal fucking accent?
I had a friend who his father used to do that all the time. Like his father was like a white American, and like his mom was like, you know, from Colombia, and she barely spoke any English. And he would like do this weird like accent thing, and it's just weird. Like to me he would speak in like just regular American accent, but to her he would speak into like this weird, what he thinks is a Latino or Hispanic accent. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's a weird like because okay, the other way around, say if you and I were working together and you came from a different country, you spoke really broken English, I would speak a broken English to you. That way we can communicate on the same vocabulary like level, you know?
Yeah.
I did that forever with a bunch of people that I worked with, especially a lot of the South Koreans that I worked with when I worked for the government, right? They're 80-year-old women. Their English isn't gonna get better, so I'll speak at their level of English. But then these people will go to other countries where a lot of people speak English, and they'll pretend like who the fuck was it? I don't remember. I was just watching some actor was in Russia speaking to a guy who speaks perfect English in a fake Russian accent. So he like walked up to him and he's like, "Oh, Igor, I am here to see you today." And the guy's like, "Yo, what's up, man?"
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, you brought your camera, you're talking about, what is this? And the guy's like, let's go have some vodka with a bear. Yeah. And the guy's like, I made coffee? I don't know. Lindsay Lohan hella reminds me of that dude.
Yeah, to kind of what Classy is saying, it's just people who feel like, I don't know, misguided. Like, I don't know what she thought. It's like, oh yeah, because I'm speaking Arabic and in an Arabic accent, I could just walk up to you and demand like your kids. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know what her outcome she thought would be from this. So yeah. So let's get to the money shot though.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Oh shit. Yeah, it's like, get the fuck away from us, fucking crazy bitch.
I love the sounds too.
I'm like in shock right now. And they were trying to run to me, and I'm just like so scared.
Oh, you're the victim, right?
I literally can't.
I literally can't.
So, but why do
That was the last thing she said.
These retarded cultures. I'm sorry, I'm going too around to it.
Why do people what?
Why do people like subscribe to these retarded cultures?
But yeah, I think that was pretty funny, like how she just got clocked. I'm just like, yeah, it's like, well, you anytime you try to fuck with someone's kids, like, yeah, of course, parents would be like, yeah, get away from my kids, you fucking crazy weirdo. So.
Yeah, I like that they eventually did turn around and punch her, because that's like, I think, what everybody would do. But I get so much pleasure out of those weird ass sounds. It's such a weird ass sound for her to make. And you know, it just like you were saying, Classy, I don't think that's the sound she would make if you punched her, if she wasn't in this phase where she's like, I don't know, I guess pretended to be from the Middle East in some capacity. If you just like met up with her in Florida and she was harassing you and you punched her, I bet you the sound she would make would probably be like, the sound. That weird ass sound is hella like what she thinks a fucking Arabic woman getting punched by a Syrian refugee child trafficker sounds like.
Right. Exactly.
That's probably her best role. This is the best acting she's done in her entire career. Okay. And that includes the best of the Herbie movies that she was in.
Why is it like it's like impossible for child actors to just? I mean, there's a few that make it through, but like something about like being a child actor, like you're just bound to
just because they grow
like
up
screw
too
up
fast. They never get a chance to have like a normal childhood, so that's why. Yeah.
It's like once you get like 18 and you know your managers and your parents don't control you anymore. It's the first thing you got to do is go discover what cocaine and orgies are like. That girl JoJo, the one that makes the bows on YouTube and shit, I promise you, she's gonna have the best meltdown of the last like 30 years. JoJo, she makes like bows, music videos and shit. She's huge. She's a huge YouTuber.
Bro, I'm so lost.
JoJo Siwa, dude. Oh my god, she has 7.7 million subs right now.
You have to send me a link or something.
Nah, don't worry about it. Just
I just
know. Oh my god, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it's like kind of the. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of like, there is a lot of those kids now. It's like instead of TV, like they're kind of like, you know, they're kind of like YouTube stars or whatever. That's kind of like the modern day version of what we grew up with, watching kids on like Nickelodeon and stuff.
Dude, and it might be worse now, like because on let's say if you work for Nickelodeon, the character that you play, people most of the time understand that there's a level of separation. There's a degree of separation. Parents will tell their kids like, you know, that's not really I'm old. That's not really the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's, you know, that's Will Smith. You know, so this 10-year-old meets Will Smith, they understand that's the actor that plays Will Smith, right? JoJo isn't acting on a show. She is the only character on her own videos that she puts up. So even though this is a very fake personality that she's using, or an embellished version of her personality, it's so close to being just really her that she's not removed from that persona when she's in public at all. People think, oh, that's how she is. This is who she is. When she gets older and she's trying to just go out and like, you know, she's gonna have like smoke a cigarette or whatever, people are gonna be like, oh my God, JoJo Siwa smoking cigarettes. Just the same thing with like Obama's daughter, right? She fucking smokes a joint with and like I don't know, like sucks her boyfriend off or whatever at a music festival. And people are like, I don't know exactly what she did, but people are like, this 18-year-old girl is doing 18-year-old girl stuff. What the fuck's going on? But her dad's like Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And it leads to them taking it to like that person eventually being like, fuck this, I'm going all out. And that's when, you know, they're shooting up heroin in between their toes and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and especially when it comes to like a YouTube personality, what you're saying is like they're never removed from the character. It's like, maybe is that going to spell even a worse disaster down the road because like people can never get away from being that character? I don't know. That is kind of mind blowing to think about now that you put it in that perspective. This next video. This next video we have here, I thought this was pretty funny because this is Trumpism where he was at the UN and yeah, so just watch. We'll take a look at this.
In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country. America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
At least the crowd kind of plays a little bit with him and is like, okay, all right, clap.
Right. He just bullshits through everything.
You can taste the salt.
But like he just kind of bullshits through everything. It's like he says like the same shit. Like it's like, yes, so true.
It's so true. And everybody's like, no, dude, our opinion of your country has never been lower.
That is true. That is true. It is kind of crazy what people think of us now too with Trump, and because yeah, I mean, regardless of whatever policy he makes, it's like he is kind of like that flamboyant personality that just the media loves and everyone knows about in the world. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's sitting at the place where those people are the most informed, right? They don't get their news. They don't get their news from Fox, from CNN. They don't get it from over. You're sitting around at the UN with the world leaders, right? They're not getting their information from fake news sources. They understand, you know, your country's economy, the state of your people, the state of your healthcare system, right? The state of your military, okay, and the state of your relations, okay? They're fully informed on what is the totality of your nation state. For 2 seconds, if you have an opportunity to lie to anybody about how good your country is doing, it's never going to appear in front of them. That 2 seconds is never going to happen in front of these people. So he tries it for even a second, and those people who are like they're stone faced, right? They sit there and they listen to people tell them about fucking. There's kids in Uganda who can't grow fucking limbs. You know what I mean? Japanese people in some areas with higher rates of cancer and lower IQs because of nuclear bombs. Like, you know, the people stand there and tell them the worst stories of all fucking time, and they sit there stone faced, right, and don't react. But this dude is like, no, our country. Let me tell you, I'm just telling you right now, okay. Our country is better than it's ever been, right? We're doing greater things. We're the best presidents. And this dude at the back is just dying of laughter in the back. The crowd's just like, dude, this is you. Excuse us, time out.
Right.
Hold on. And you know what? I didn't expect that reaction. Okay, but listen, it's true.
But he I mean, to his credit, like he's able to just, like I said, play off anything. Like even though he kind of crashed and burned, it's like, yeah, at least he take the risks, and if he looks stupid, like he'll try to spin and say like, no, it's fine, it's true, you know.
Oh yeah, he's for sure dealt never fail, and they've all definitely laughed at him, and he's been like, no, it's true, my businesses don't fail, that's why you're all here. And they're like, all right, I just keep talking so we can get this over with. And he knows the vocal cues that he needs to hit in order to get to the just keep talking so we can get this over with part, which is like 90% of these interactions.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Yeah, man. We were talking about Trump earlier in the stream with MasterShadowNinja, but I honestly think, like I said, he will win again. He will win another term just because there is no other candidates, you know, like whether I want him to win or don't want him to win, like I don't really care. I mean, like I said, I'm a firm believer that I don't really care who the president is. Just leave me alone. But I think he will win again unless they get someone else. You know, I don't see anyone else, honestly, so far. But I could be wrong.
If Joe Biden wasn't as old as he will be in 2020, I still think that if Joe Biden had showed up the last second and been like, no, okay, I'll run, I think he would have trounced Hillary and then exploded Donald Trump and you know, would have just won the election easily. But he'll be what, 5,000 years old by the time the next election is in 3 years. So it's like,
I mean, it's just interesting. Like, what way is the Democratic Party gonna have? They're gonna continue the same corporate sort of establishment route, or the sort of grassroots sort of progressive route? I mean, I don't really like the Democratic Party either way, but
both of these parties are gonna forever be corporatist parties. They'll never. The grassroots parties obviously can't win, right? The popular vote was 100% almost
a grassroots.
Jimmy Carter. So, if we're gonna use, I mean, politics 30 years ago, my man, compared to politics 2018, post Reagan, post like even the 1990s, your country is a corporation. You know what I mean? These parties are corporatist parties, regardless of what's worked in the past. Fuck, I mean, if we're going to use references from the past, we could just go get guns and kill everybody, and I'm the president. You got to shoot me, and now you're the president. You know what I mean? We just make it up as we go. But now that's just not how it works. And now it is which party can get the biggest turnover, right? So. Which party can get oil? Which party can get plastics? Which party can get rubber? Which party can get these big fucking lobbies? And they get the biggest lobbies. Those lobbies have paid the most people in whatever state, and that swings the state for this politician, and that's how they win. Those people, Hillary wasn't even a Democrat. She just needed to take the Democratic seat. Like that's just the one that's easier to take. You know, the one that she can get on, as opposed to the Republican seat where they won't vote for her. So we got to go to so they're not even real. The next person will probably be someone who liked Donald Trump or is still Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Because they're all pretty much the fucking same.
Sure. Right.
But Donald Trump will probably win because Cory Booker is going to end up being the Democratic fucking vote. And like 10 people are going to show up to vote that day.
Yeah,
9 of them are going to vote for Donald Trump.
And yeah, Trump's probably going to win re-election.
Yeah, who could even the Rock would at least be interesting because he would have so many people's just popular vote.
I've been saying it like every single stream that like from here on out we're only going to get celebrity presidents, and I think whether it's in 2020 or 2024 we're going to get either Kanye or The Rock. I'm predicting.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, so the last president was a Harvard graduate, right? The president before that was a Yale graduate. The president before the like, if you go down the line, you get all these like prestigious school graduates. You know what I mean? That studied something that's completely, totally relevant to politics, and whatever state we were in when we like finished that, whatever state of the world we were in when we got to Donald Trump, I think most people were dissatisfied with. So at least if entertainers start showing up, it's a new flavor. You know what I mean? It's something different. People are willing to let the whole ship sink for a different captain for a day.
Yeah, I think when with Trump getting elected, it was just it is a turning point in history where it's like whoa, that happened. And he did use social media and technology. Social media, like I talk about it all the time, is like it's changed our world. Like our world, like we're living in a real life Black Mirror episode because of social media. And you know, he won because of Twitter. He won because of social media, especially how Hillary had no presence with social media and the internet. And it is still kind of crazy how he's
Pokemon Go to the polls.
Yeah, just completely out of touch. But I still think it's crazy how Trump is just like a madman, just tweeting, like he tweets like insults and shit. It's like we're living in a crazy time, guys. We're living. I can't believe it.
That shit is the shit that, like, you know, very obviously I disagree with this dude's politics or whatever, but I cannot get enough of shit talking Donald Trump. If somebody says something and this dude, like these women, you know, for the Kavanaugh fucking interview, right, where he's being interviewed for this job, and these women are like, you shouldn't hire him because he raped me or whatever. What the facts of that case are yet to be divulged, right? The smart thing would be to say, like, I'm not going to say shit until we know if this dude did bad things or if these women are fucking liars. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to sit back and stay quiet. That's what most people would do. Donald Trump, he goes, hell nah. These women, you should look at their backgrounds. Let me check them out. All right. You think Brett's back? He doesn't say Brett would never do that. Brett didn't do that, right? His thing to do, right? Donald Trump decides to chime in. He says, listen to these fucking hoes. You know how many dicks this bitch has sucked? You're just like, oh, fuck, dude. Take a step back for a moment, my man. Take a step back for a moment, please. He's like, nuh-uh. This one's a cunt. This one's a whore. This one right here, I could fuck her mom any day. It's like, stop.
Yeah, he doesn't pull punches. But we're gonna wrap up with this video here, and it's kind of fitting that Mullato Jesus, you joined on this stream for this video because did you see the Captain Marvel trailer at all?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about it?
It didn't. I'm not big into Marvel at this point, but that one looked
Captain
like
Marvel I care
boring.
about was the OG one from DC Comics.
Oh yeah, we had a little.
I'm not gonna call him Shazam or whatever, or Jam, whatever. It's Captain Marvel.
Shazam.
I don't care. I don't even want to pronounce it correctly. That's how much disrespect.
I thought it was. Isn't that
Shazam to get the powers?
Go ahead. Well, I know they switched. See, I always thought Captain Marvel was Wonder Man, but I guess I was wrong. Like it wasn't until like last year that I figured out that they were fucking different. But Wonder Man I thought was Captain Marvel, but he had a W, not an M. So I'm like, my knowledge of the character is limited to it and to what I've seen in like Nova.
You're talking about the Shazam, the DC Captain Marvel, right?
No, Captain Marvel. Just this version of Captain Marvel.
This version of Captain Marvel. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I honestly have Captain Marvel. I didn't read any comics of Captain Marvel ever growing up, and she is part of the Avengers and everything. The only thing I ever seen her from in media was her. She was in like the Marvel vs. Capcom game, and they have Brie Larson playing her, and you know this the thing with Brie Larson. Me and Classy, we had a video that actually a lot of people enjoyed a couple weeks ago. Where she, do you remember Brie Larson? She was the one where basically last year she was complaining that she was like a TSA agent asked for her number.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she was like she like complained about it and was like saying like, oh, this is the life of a woman, like we always got to be on the defense. And it's like, yeah, dude, like a fucking guy asked for your number, say no and move on. Yeah, like that's the world we live in.
I mean, that's
our guy's not allowed to do that.
She's just a
patriarchal,
legit.
though, because that's not consent. He has to sign a consent form.
I did not consent to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Asking me this that doesn't.
I mean, how are you supposed to even do it though in your world? Where you're like, how do I?
Yeah, don't try to rationalize it. Yeah, it's just
how do you approach any woman if I have to have like a version of consent before I ask
I'm
you?
kind of
for
scared now. Am I
potential
gonna
consent?
have to go MGTOW now?
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, she is kind of like one of those proto-feminists and shit. And I don't know, like you're already kind of seeing the vibes in the movie. And there was some controversy because she has like a blank expression in the trailer and everything. So I wanted to play this video for you guys to get your reaction to see kind of what the controversy is here around this.
First 24 hours after it was released, 109 million people watched the trailer for Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson. With all those views, you know there's going to be people that find ridiculous things to hate on.
Yeah, so people complain that Brie looked too serious in the trailer, that she should be having more fun. So someone on Twitter photoshopped a smile.
This dude is gay as you can be. Like,
What are you talking about? This guy's like the most masculine man I've ever.
But
I think my gaydar just exploded. Go ahead.
But what annoys me is that rather than taking the good criticism of what is acting, right, which was like my criticism is that she is expressionless. She has no expression, neither sad nor happy nor scared nor angry. There's a clip of her. She's supposed to be looking tough. And she doesn't look tough. She just has a blank expression on her face. Nothing's going on there. And that's an honest critique of her acting. And I'm sure you could find that. I'm sure you could find a 2-page fucking essay on why this is very clearly poorly acted. Right? And that it's going to be a stale performance, at least from the trailer. That's what you would understand. But these dudes, they know, well, we can't present an honest argument, right? We got to find the one where the guy goes and photoshops a smile on her face. And then that's the one. See, she needs to smile more. Is that the criticism? Or is it that she's expressionless the entire fucking trailer? That like she looks at the same face that she has when she's jumping from rope to rope is the same face that she has when she's like getting up into her fucking airplane for the first time or whatever. What the hell?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what's her name? Kristen Stewart from the Twilight movies.
Yes, dude, it's exactly that. That.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just the same expressionless. And then they frame it as an argument. Like, yeah, it's like there is nothing wrong with smiling. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying that they should smile. But like, yeah, what you're saying, it's like it's just a blank expression.
Yeah.
So they would do
people aren't necessarily. This guy is complaining, I guess, about her smiling. But like, if I was gonna be like, well, people disliked the Captain Marvel trailer, I would look for the people that made the best possible arguments, right? The people that had the best criticism of the content, not the like 10-year-old that's like, it doesn't show her tits enough. You know what I mean? Like that. But that's the shit that they use in these types of things right here. They did the same thing with like the Spider-Man trailer, right? People notice that they rendered the game in a lower visual quality than they had rendered the trailer. So parts of the trailer looked of better clarity and higher definition than other parts of the game. And people noticed that. But then what companies like Machinima and IGN do They say people are mad because the Spider-Man developers took out a puddle. It's like the complaint isn't that they took out a puddle. The complaint is that they turned down the fucking visual quality. It went from high def to meh def. But that's what they do. They cherry pick the shittiest criticisms, and then they say, "Look at all these haters."
Right. Yeah. I mean, that is the job of the media, to kind of go after the low-hanging fruit, and they want to kind of build the narrative of like, oh yeah, this is the typical sexism that women have to deal with and everything. So, and I kind of hate it too, where it's already like kind of this feminist power anthem, like, and that's the thing too with movies. Like they kind of did it in the Predator movie as well. I mean, I didn't watch the movie, but people were telling me where how Olivia Munn's character, like in the movie, in order to make like strong female characters, they make the characters like they can do everything. It's kind of like the whole Mary Sue thing. Same thing with like the new Star Wars movies. It's like we need to have badass female characters. So guess what? They can do anything and everything. They can do no harm. And I feel like that's.
Sorry, what did I miss?
No, we were just talking about how
Mary Sue's
with Mary Sue's in movies, how now they have female characters in movies, and they have like these unrealistic expectations of them. It's like they know how to do anything and everything. You see it with Rey in the Star Wars movies.
No,
you see it. They did it with in the new Predator movie. How Olivia Munn, she's a scientist. You know, she's a female scientist, guys, but she can also pick up a gun. She's able to pick up an AK, or like an assault rifle, and she knows how to shoot it. And she's just one of the guys now. And it's like there's no explanation for those things. Even though just because I'm a guy doesn't mean like if I was to pick up an assault rifle, I'm like, how do I use this thing? I'm fucking scared. Right. So they paint women in these films as like they just know how to do anything and everything. That's their idea of like a strong female character. So yeah, I mean this movie's gonna come out.
Dreamer doesn't want any strong female characters.
Oh yeah,
another manifestation of the sexist patriarchy.
Exactly. So let's see what else they say here in this video.
Bree's face for various stills from the movie. So in the real movie, she has a serious expression on her face as she walks, but now she's smiling.
That's funny, though.
Many have slammed this as being misogynistic, saying
funny.
male superheroes don't walk around smiling all the time.
Okay, it's funny.
She should smile a little more, though. I mean, maybe not in the trailer. This girl is always like
Canada. Okay. Oh, I mean to be fair, like the hosts are clear, like making fun of it. It's
yeah.
Because it's a meme.
I mean that looks terrible. The just like this smile on her face in these scenes, right? But like honestly, if you look at those exact two scenes, those are the two scenes I was actually talking about. She has the same exact like bored expression, like little
right.
Like as if somebody's stuck their pinky in her vagina, and they're looking at her like, "Do you like that, babe?" And she's just like, "Uh-huh." Like that's the face that she has.
That's a very specific description.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I mean, I don't know. I've never had that happen. I mean,
I hope you don't get banned because of that.
Yeah, and then if you want to compare this to like the because it's like, oh yeah, a hero in these situations wouldn't be smiling. It's like, go look at like the Thor movies. Go look at
My Hero Academia. No, My Hero Academia with freaking All Might. He's always smiling.
No, but I'm saying like even just sticking within the Marvel universe. Like look at Iron Man. Look at Thor. Like they are charismatic characters. They are smiling. It's this thing now. It's like, oh, we can't have women smiling. If you tell them that they should smile more, it's because you're sexist. Because it's like the typical thing to like tell women to smile, and it's like, so it's like you guys are going out of your way not to smile and not just to be grumpy, I guess. Because
I mean, just emo at all. She doesn't even look grumpy in the clips. She just looks there, like it's just a face. There's nothing There's no emoting at all. Yeah, I mean, if you've ever seen like actors try to work their way through a scene, they focus really hard on like what's the right emotion for this scene, right? They try to make their eyes the right way, their eyebrows the right way. They got to make
my problem with why I probably could never be an actor, because I always have the same expression. So
see, and that's something that I don't know shit about the character, right? Maybe this character is just completely bored with life. But if you're trying, if they're anything else, she did not have that face. If they are sad, if they are happy, if they are angry, if they're even, telling you the only reason why they cast her is because a bunch of fucking fanboys got a hard on for her because she was in that Scott Pilgrim movie back in the day. People fucking like Scott Pilgrim. People fucking get a hard on for her and shit. And that's the only reason why she's in anything. She's a shit actor.
What else was she in? I don't even remember her.
I don't recall.
Oh,
I think
okay.
shows. I think TV shows.
She's a TV,
okay.
Maybe just a show. I don't know.
We'll see how it turns out. I don't know. Like
I probably won't ever see a movie again, not unless it's Star Wars. But yeah.
Except Solo, right?
I didn't see Solo. Yeah.
You never see another movie again. Do you mean at a theater, or you're just never gonna watch another movie?
I don't know. It's just like for some reason, like since like The Last Jedi, I just haven't returned to the movie theater either. I've just been busy, or I just haven't had the opportunity to, I don't know, just go to a movie theater.
Movie theaters in general are dying. Movie theaters won't like get past our lifetime. Nowadays, like. I mean, they have like they're like struggling to get people to go back to the movie theater, and I used to go to the movie theater a lot. I only go now if it's like a certain movie, just because now it's like everyone has like your own setup at your house, and you don't got to deal with fucking annoying people in the theater, and like they should
sodies.
Yeah, and like just annoying. I don't know, like some movie theaters are nice. And I like actually going to because they're really nice.
Like
but
they check their bags like it's a freaking airport. It's like, come on, man! I just want to bring my freaking McChicken from McDonald's. Is that too much to ask?
It is. When I'm at home, I like to have my AK-47 in my lap, and that way, if the bad scene happens, I can shoot it at the TV, right? So, like,
there you go.
Every time I go to theaters, I was like, "Excuse me, sir, you're gonna have to leave your gun in the car." And I'm like, I can't leave my gun in the car because then my kid will get to it.
I see. Interesting. But that is why they check the bags, Classy. It's not because of food. It's because of
no, it's
weapons.
because of food. They don't. No, but I swear they don't let me bring my McChicken in when I feel like I watch. Shrek.
You
Okay.
Can't bring out. You can bring beans to watch Cars 2, but you can't bring a McChicken to watch Shrek, dude. That's
movie theaters I go to. They don't give a fuck. Like I'll bring in, like I'll go to the dollar store and bring in like candy and. Yeah, like if they're checking a bag, it's because of usually. I thought it's because of weapons. I didn't like they see like the food I'm bringing. Like they don't give a shit. I don't know. Maybe certain theaters. So, but yeah, that was just the end here of this video. I don't know if you guys had any more thoughts about Captain Marvel or not, or.
No, man. I wasn't trying to. I feel like I derailed your whole shit, dude. My bad.
No, bro. No worries. No worries. It is kind of getting late, and usually we cut it off at 11, which I know at your time that's 9. So it's already it's 8:42 where you're at. So or we try to cut it off at 8 o'clock in your time, 11 o'clock at our time. So. It's way past what we usually stream, but it was a pretty good stream, pretty fun. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Classy, did you have any final things? No. Thanks, Mullato Jesus, for coming, bro. You're always a awesome guest.
Yeah. I mean, I'll leave a link in the description below for Mullato Jesus channel, the Critical Unbeliever, and of course for MasterShadowNinja. I highly recommend you check out my channel and see the latest episode of the Classy Liberal podcast. I think the interview I had with MasterShadowNinja was really good. It was really interesting, and yeah, I guess that's it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We're gonna try to figure something out for next week, maybe a Friday night or a Saturday or a Sunday night, because I am going to be definitely watching that pay-per-view somewhere of McGregor versus Khabib. So that is going to be pretty hyped. Yeah, so we'll see. And I do think McGregor is. You're thinking Khabib's going to win, so we'll see who can. We're going to be able to see who has the last laugh on social media. So we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining the stream, guys. For joining us this week. Please make sure to like the video if you enjoyed the stream. Please also join our Discord if you'd like to join the show one time or leave some topics for us to react to. And yeah, we will catch you guys next time. Peace out.
All right. Until then, stay classy.